And Angela, one of my kind of regular questions is if you got any advice for people that want to grow on LinkedIn, because I don't want to say viral, but let's be honest, I'm sure you also get these DMs. So Angela, how to grow followers, this and that. So what will be your advice?
Yeah. So, I mean, there are people who have grown faster than me, and there's certainly people who have a lot more followers than I do. My method has honestly been to let most of my followers come to me organically. So I don't know if it's 50 or 100 people that you can, click connect with every week. And I think there's people on there that are going in and clickety, right? And trying to just bring people in. There is a
Quantity over
metric.
quality.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're just because, I mean, I understand, especially because I actually got to 10K this week. People take you more seriously if you have a higher follower number. So everybody's doing whatever they can to just get that number up. And I stopped playing that game. People come to me organically. And then what happens for me is, they do use what's called an engagement rate. So depending on how many impressions you have, how many people either like or comment on your post. So you can look at those figures, but it also is part of the algorithm of LinkedIn, right? Like my post from yesterday about hitting 10,000 followers has a freaky weird 33% engagement rate. So on LinkedIn, they tell you 2% is good. 5% is you're like a rock star. And part of it is because they didn't show the post to very many people. And so everybody that they showed it, most of the people they showed it to actually did something with it. And that's an unusual day. But my average engagement is between 8 and 9%. And that's actually very, very high for LinkedIn. But it's because my followers are literally my followers. They're not just people that I, just tried to get to show up, right? I didn't go onto that network page and just start clicking connect so that I could get my numbers up. And so there were people that legitimately came to me. And I mean, again, this is the same idea as what I do in business, this idea of, slow measured growth, right? Like I have an engaged audience because I allowed it to come to me at normal speed. And so whether people are going to do that or not is up to them. But I do think that it gives me a lot more value on LinkedIn. And I think in the long run, and it is also why when I was down, I think I made my first, dollar off of LinkedIn at somewhere like between 3,000 and 4,000 followers. Like I didn't have as many as I do now, but because they were legitimate people that I knew or at least maybe had a convo with in the DMs or people that had just come to me because of my content, they were all people that had chosen to engage with me, right? And so being able to monetize that is a lot easier than if you have 100,000 people that, you've gotten some other way. So, I mean, that's part of what I've done. So, I mean, honestly, there's a few things that I think that are magical. Consistency. I have posted at least 3 times a week for 2 years. And a lot of people, don't do that. And I posted when I didn't like to post. I just kept doing it. I kind of made a promise to myself and just did it. That consistency makes a difference. Leaning into who you are makes a difference. That's what makes you stand out, especially now in the feed. Because again, AI can make everybody looks the same. I also think there's a growing number of people like just getting on LinkedIn to try to make money because they've been told that's what you do, right? Like that's where you can make money. And so there's a growing number of people there that are kind of playing the same game. And so I think anything you can do to make yourself stand out. There's one person in particular that I really love on LinkedIn. Her name's Magali DeRoe. I'm probably butchering her name, but she just showed up and grew really fast, but it was because her content stands out. It's just different. She's snarky and smart and, she'll write a whole post about why a dog on the street that took her sandwich is better at, marketing than most people on LinkedIn, right? Like just wild things. But because of it, it's fun, it's interesting, and people want to read it, right? So there are ways to build fast, but honestly, consistency is always the winning game, right? And I've worked on my writing. As I said, it was terrible 2 years ago. I've actually worked on the craft of, trying to write a better DM, trying to write a better post, and, improving a little bit every day. And ultimately it pays off.
Those were great points. I like to emphasize that sometimes I think, or I feel like that people think that consistency means every day, but as you really well said, even 3 times per week is a consistency. It doesn't matter that one person is posting daily, I don't know, 5 times a week, 7 times a week, as long as you keep going for a long term and keep showing up, even 2 times per week. Remember that it's still consistency. That was a great point.
Yeah, LinkedIn is one of the few things, and also one of the reasons I came to it, one of the few social medias where you really can, just post 3 times and get some traction off it, right? And also the posts live longer and longer in there now, which is also kind of brilliant. Sometimes a post from 2 weeks ago will suddenly start getting more impressions, like it'll just pop off like much later. They used to live, easily for 2 days when I got on 2 years ago, but now sometimes they can live for weeks, and that's also pretty awesome.
That is true. I agree. And another great point with you need to be yourself and stand out, because now, of course, AI and how it's progressing, you see more and more content and that looks just, to me, it feels kind of soulless, because it's like the content that sometimes feel like people don't even put any effort into it. And I think that often people ask like how to stand out, be different, but I think they forget that actually it's you, that it's like your competitive advantage and something that is unique to you. So find it and embrace it, and don't outsource it to AI or to someone else. So that was a great point. And you mentioned Magali. I spoke with her and she said a great example, I think was a post about pigeon and cigarette, something like that, like completely random, but it was so funny.
Yeah, she is so funny, and that, I mean, again, that just brought people to her really fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was just a great point. And if there are like people listening now and maybe wondering, oh, it's easy for you to say stand out, be unique, be different. So if there is someone who should think in this, what will be your maybe advice how to find that unique edge of that person who's got these questions?
Yeah, it is funny that this comes up a lot, especially like in the community I'm in. I mean, every person as an individual that's why if you lean into what things that are uniquely you, it's something that AI can't create, right? And so I feel like also some of the younger people, don't have like my breadth of, experience, right? They're not 50 and they don't have a network, and they haven't worked in sales and the things that I have that I can offer professionally. But I mean, I talk about my watercoloring, I talk about,
Oh yeah, I saw that you like to do it over the weekend. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, everybody has a thing, right, that they're into. I mean, they could be a Tolkien nerd. They could be into gaming. There's something. You can be into reading books. You could be into your cat. Like I have a friend who's really weirdly obsessed with her cat. Like
Wait, is it Dan? Maybe on LinkedIn? Danielle?
Oh, his cats are super cute. It's not him, but I do like that. Daniele also.
But I love cats as well. I don't want to laugh at anyone. I love them too. I just jealous that I don't have one.
Yeah, but I mean, those are the things that, I mean, people like that because it's what makes you look like a human, right? And in some ways, when I started doing coaching, which is fairly new to me, like in 2026 is when I formally started doing executive coaching, I found that the people that were coming to me were all neurodivergent. And it wasn't really my intention to just like be a coach for neurodivergent people, but because of my content, because I tell people that I have ADHD, because I tell people about raising my children with their neurodivergencies, right? And so people were just attracted to me because of the pieces that I show on LinkedIn that are literally just about me, right? Yep. So, I mean, I could coach any business owner, but the people who are coming to me are either neurodivergent or they have a product or a service that is for neurodivergent individuals, because that's something I talk about regularly. So it's also how you attract people into your circles that you can get on with in some ways, right? Like it's more fun for me to work with people who are neurodivergent, actually, which because I am as well. So, I mean, I don't know who says this, but your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So just putting out there who you are as a person, you're going to find other people. There are other people out there who like gaming. There are other people out there who like watercoloring. There are other people out there who love to read, right? And so there's millions of people out there. You don't have to be everything to everyone. You still have plenty. There's still plenty of people to have business, and they get attracted to you by you showing them who you are as a person.